It began with silence. Across the galaxy, stars started to disappear from communication maps. First one, then another. Entire systems went quiet. No distress calls, no warnings, just darkness where light once lived. The alien coalition was unstoppable. They moved like a shadow across space, erasing civilizations that had existed for thousands of years. Their fleets were massive. Their weapons were perfect. Resistance only delayed the inevitable. Earth was not their main target. At first, no one even noticed humanity. Humans were small players in a very large galaxy. Their technology was average. Their fleets were limited. Many alien races believed humans would surrender the moment the coalition arrived. But humans watched. They learned, and they prepared. When the coalition finally reached the outer human colonies, panic spread. Defense lines were weak. Ships were old. Supplies were low. Military command knew the truth. It guarded nothing important. No great planet. No major fleet base. Just empty space and a few mining stations already evacuated. Assigned to that outpost was a soldier with no famous name. He was not a captain, not a hero, just a man who followed orders. His task was simple: hold the line, delay the enemy as long as possible. The outpost scanners detected the alien fleet hours before visual contact. Thousands of ships, perfect formation. No hesitation. Command sent a final message: delay them for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that was all they expected. The soldier looked at the stars ahead of him. He knew what was coming. He knew no help would arrive. Still, he did not leave his post. When the first alien ship crossed into firing range, he activated the outpost weapons. The guns were old, slow, and weak, but they fired. The first shot destroyed nothing. The second did little more, but it sent a message. The alien fleet stopped. They did not understand why a single outpost would resist, why one human would stand when entire civilizations had. And with that, the war found its first true obstacle. The alien fleet expected the outpost to fall within minutes. Their record showed that weaker civilizations usually collapsed the moment resistance became useless. They believed fear was faster than any weapon. What they did not understand was the human idea of duty. Inside the outpost, the soldier moved calmly between failing systems. Warning lights flashed across the control room. Power levels dropped. Oxygen reserves began to thin. Still, his hands did not shake. He had trained for chaos. He had trained to keep moving when logic said stop. The first alien attack wave was cautious. Fighters tested the outpost's defenses, circling like predators around wounded prey. The soldier waited. He did not fire immediately. He let them come closer. When they crossed a narrow angle between two asteroid shadows, he fired everything at once. 2 alien fighters were destroyed instantly. Others were damaged and forced to retreat. It was a small victory, but it changed something. The alien commanders paused their advance. They analyzed the data again and again. The outpost was old. The weapons were outdated. The human inside should not have been able to do this. Yet the evidence was clear. They sent a message: surrender. Resistance is illogical. The soldier did not reply. He rerouted power from life support to weapons, accepting the risk. The temperature inside the outpost dropped. His breath became visible in the air. He wrapped his damaged armor tighter and kept working. Deeper into human-controlled space, hours passed. The alien fleet increased pressure. Missiles struck the outpost hull, tearing metal apart. Explosions rocked the station. Fires spread through corridors that had not seen movement in years. Automated repair drones activated, but they were too slow. The soldier moved through smoke and sparks, manually sealing breaches. He ignored pain. A deep cut across his arm bled through his sleeve, but he tightened a strap and continued. Human command watched from afar, unable to help. Every message they sent was answered with the same calm response. Still holding. The alien fleet changed tactics. Instead of brute force, they tried to break him mentally. They opened a direct communication channel and flooded it with images. Burning cities, destroyed worlds, civilizations that had resisted and paid the price. You will die, the alien voice said, and your death will mean nothing. The soldier finally responded, then I will die standing. The channel went silent. By the end of the first day, the outpost weapons were nearly gone. The soldier made a decision. He would not die inside a station. He would make them chase him. He launched the only remaining fighter. The ship was old, scarred, and barely functional. Its engines screamed as it left the outpost behind. The alien fleet reacted instantly, deploying hundreds of fighters. From their perspective, this was no longer about strategy. It was about control. The soldier flew straight into them. He used debris, asteroid fields, and the wreckage of destroyed ships as cover. He disassembled enemy fighters not with power, but with precision. Each maneuver forced the alien fleet to slow, regroup, and rethink their approach. Time passed differently in battle. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt endless. The soldier's fighter took hit after hit. Systems failed. Navigation flickered, weapons overheated. Still, he did not retreat. Human evacuation ships crossed jump points behind him. Entire populations escaped because the alien fleet could not advance at full speed. The alien commanders grew frustrated. They diverted more ships, more resources, more attention to one human. That was the real victory. On the second day, the soldier's fighter was finally crippled. A direct hit shattered the main engine. The ship spun out of control, drifting among burning wreckage. Life support failed. The cockpit filled with smoke. The soldier activated the emergency beacon, not as a call for rescue, but as a challenge. The alien fleet surrounded him. Instead of destroying the ship, they pulled it in with tractor beams. They wanted answers. They wanted to understand why one soldier would cause so much delay, so much damage, for no possible gain. When they brought him aboard their command vessel, he was barely standing. His armor was cracked. His face was marked with blood and ash. Still, his eyes were steady. They asked him why. Why fight alone? Why refuse surrender? Why delay the inevitable? He listened quietly, then spoke. Because someone has to stay. The aliens did not understand the words, but they felt their weight. The soldier was imprisoned, restrained, and studied. Outside the command vessel, the war continued, but something had changed. Reports spread across the coalition fleet. Delays, unexpected resistance. Human worlds that should have fallen were still standing. The soldier had held the line far longer than anyone. Expected not 5 minutes, not even 5 hours, 3 full days, and the galaxy had noticed. The alien coalition believed they had finally removed the problem. The human soldier was captured. His fighter was destroyed. The outpost was silent. From their view, the delay was over. The war could continue as planned. They were wrong. Inside the alien command vessel, the soldier was kept under constant watch. He was restrained, scanned, questioned, and studied like a strange object. They had fought many species before. None had behaved like this. They asked him why he did not surrender when defeat was certain, why he chose pain over survival, why he stood alone when help was impossible. The soldier did not give long answers. He did not argue. He did not shout. He simply said the same thing in different ways. Someone had to slow you down. Someone had to stay. Someone had to choose time over life. The alien commanders recorded everything. They believed they were documenting weakness, a final example of human foolishness. To send a message of fear across the galaxy, they made a decision that would change the war forever. They broadcast his capture across thousands of star systems. Screens lit up. The image of a damaged human soldier appeared. Bruised, tired, restrained, alone. The aliens spoke clearly, confidently, without emotion. This is the cost of resistance. They expected silence. They expected surrender. They expected fear. Instead, something unexpected happened. Among human fleets, the broadcast spread instantly. Pilots stopped what they were doing to watch. Soldiers stood still. Civilians held their breath. They saw the armor, the wounds, the calm eyes of a man who had already accepted his fate. Human command tried to shut the broadcast down. It was too late. The soldier had become real. Until that moment, the war had been numbers and maps, losses and statistics. But now, the war had a face. A single human who had stood alone and delayed an armada. In human space, something changed. Crews painted a simple symbol on their ships. A single vertical line, crossed at the top. It meant hold, it meant stand. It meant this line does not move. Other species noticed that on distant worlds that had already surrendered, people watched the same broadcast. They saw something unfamiliar. Not technology, but choice. The choice to resist even when defeat was guaranteed. Whispers spread. If one soldier could slow them, what could a fleet do? If one world resisted, would others follow? If fear failed once, could it fail again? Small acts of resistance began quietly. A supply ship delayed departure. A mining colony refused to send resources. A defense station powered up weapons it had never fired before. The alien coalition felt it. Immediately, their advance slowed. Reports of unexpected resistance appeared more often. Nothing large, nothing dramatic, but constant, annoying, costly. Inside the command vessel, the soldier remained imprisoned. He was weak, but alive. The aliens debated his fate. Killing him might turn him into a martyr. Keeping him alive risked something they could not define. During a routine transfer between holding sections, alarms sounded, lights failed. The ship shook violently. Confusion spread through the corridors. A human resistance team had never been expected here. In fact, there was no official rescue mission, no approved plan, but humans had come anyway. Explosions tore through the lower decks. Fire spread. The alien crew scrambled to respond. In the chaos, the soldier's restraints failed. Whether by accident or design, no one knew. He moved through smoke and falling debris, guided by instinct and memory. He did not know who had come for him. The prison section was empty. The alien coalition never admitted what happened. Next, official records said the prisoner died during a systems failure. Unofficially, whispers spread even among the aliens. The human had escaped. Again, across the galaxy, sightings were reported. A damaged human ship attacking supply lines, a lone figure sabotaging relay stations, entire convoys delayed by a single strike, and then nothing. The soldier had become more than a man. He was a story. Human fleets began coordinating more openly. Other species joined quietly, then openly. The war was no longer humans versus the coalition. It was resistance versus control. The alien commanders realized too late that they had made a critical mistake. By trying to use the soldier as a warning, they had turned him into a symbol of defiance. Fear no longer moved faster than hope, and somewhere in the darkness between stars, the soldier continued to move. Not to win battles, not to claim victory, but to remind the galaxy that even one choice could change everything. The war had changed its shape. What once looked like a fast conquest had turned into a long, costly struggle. The alien coalition still had more ships, more weapons, and more territory, but they no longer moved with confidence. Every system they entered carried risk. Every advance slowed by resistance they did not expect. At the center of this resistance was a pattern. The aliens could not fully track. Supply lines failed. Relay stations went dark. Fleets arrived late or not at all. And always, somewhere nearby, reports spoke of a single human presence. The soldier, human command, finally confirmed what many already believed. He was alive. He was moving alone. And he was doing something far more dangerous than fighting battles. He was guiding the war. The soldier traveled toward a forgotten system at the edge of explored space. Long ago, humans had discovered something there. Not a weapon, not exactly, but a defense network older than their civilization. It was powerful, unstable, and dangerous to use. Human leaders had sealed it away, agreeing never to activate it. Now, it was the only option. The system was empty. No cities, no colonies. Just silent planets and drifting debris from ancient conflicts. Beneath its surface, hidden deep within gravity wells and dead moons. The network waited. The soldier knew what activation would mean. There would be no escape, no rescue. The system would become a trap, collapsing in on itself. Anything inside would be destroyed, including him. As the alien coalition pushed forward with a massive offensive, the soldier sent a message to human command. It was short, clear, final. Draw them here. I will close the door. Human command responded with urgency. They ordered him to stand down, to wait, to survive. They promised reinforcements, alternatives, plans. The soldier did not argue. He simply cut the channel. Alien fleets entered the system soon after. Thousands of ships poured through jump points, confident they were finally ending the resistance. They believed this was a last human stand. Desperate and weak, the soldier moved through the system, activating nodes one by one. Each activation pulled more enemy ships deeper inside. Gravity shifted. Navigation failed. Communication fractured. The alien commanders realized, too late, that this system was not a battlefield. It was a cage. Fighting broke out everywhere. Ships crashed into each other as control failed. Fleets tried to retreat but found jump points unstable or gone. Panic spread through ranks that had never known fear. The soldier reached the central control structure, ancient, massive, and barely holding together. The final activation required manual input. No automation. No remote trigger. Human command re-established contact. Please, they said. Get out. We can still pull you back. The soldier looked at the stars through a cracked viewport. He saw the system tearing itself apart. If he left now, the trap would fail. He replied calmly. If I leave, this ends. That was his final message. He activated the core. Space folded in on itself. Gravity surged beyond control. The system began to collapse, consuming fleets, weapons, and command ships alike. Entire armadas vanished in waves of light and darkness. Outside the system, sensors across the galaxy recorded the event. It was impossible to hide. An entire coalition offensive force had ceased to exist in seconds, and at the center of it all, one human signal went silent. The soldier did not die screaming. He did not beg. He did not run. He stayed. The coalition reeled from the loss. For the first time, they pulled back not to reposition, but to recover. They had lost too much, too fast, and to something they could not understand. The war shifted again. Hope spread openly now. Species that had waited in fear declared resistance. Fleets formed alliances. Human command coordinated a united front. The coalition was no longer facing scattered enemies. They were facing a galaxy that had learned how to stand, and it all traced back to one choice made in the dark. One soldier. One system. One final line that would not move. The collapse of that system was felt across the galaxy. Sensors recorded impossible readings. Gravity waves traveled farther than any known weapon. Entire star charts had to be rewritten. For a long moment, no one spoke. Not human command. Not alien fleets. Not even the neutral worlds watching from a distance. Then the truth settled in. The soldier was gone. Human command confirmed the signal lost quietly. There was no public announcement at first. No speech, no ceremony. The war was still ongoing, and emotions were already stretched thin. But among the fleets, among the crews who had watched the broadcasts, the news spread without words. The one who had stood alone would not return. Something strange happened after that. Fear did not rise. Panic did not follow. Instead, there was a calm resolve that moved through the Allied forces. The soldiers' final act had not ended the war, but it had changed its direction forever. The alien coalition had lost more than ships. They had lost certainty. For the first time, their commanders questioned their own decisions. They slowed their advances. They fortified instead of attacking. The image of unstoppable power began to crack. The galaxy saw it clearly, and when fear breaks, control soon follows. Worlds that had stayed silent now spoke. Fleets that had hidden now emerged. Species that had never trusted each other began sharing resources, technology, and intelligence. The war became a united effort, not led by a single race, but inspired by a single example. The soldiers' words spread everywhere. This line is closed. Pilots said it before battle. Engineers wrote it on hull plates. Civilians carved it into shelter walls. It did not mean victory. It meant refusal. It meant that some things could not be taken, no matter the cost. Years passed. The coalition slowly retreated, system by system. Some surrendered. Others vanished into deep space. The galaxy did not chase them. It simply stood ready. Together, peace came quietly. When the war finally ended, no one claimed full credit. There was no single leader to praise, no grand parade across the stars. Instead, there was remembrance. A small human station was built near the edge of the collapsed system. It had no weapons, no defenses, only a beacon that pulsed softly into space. Other species added to it, symbols, names, messages, in hundreds of languages. They did not name the soldier, not because he was forgotten, but because he belonged to everyone. Children on distant worlds learned the story differently. Some heard him as a warrior, others as a guardian. Some believed there were many soldiers, not one. The truth did not matter as much as the lesson. That one choice could matter more than 1,000 weapons. That standing still could change the direction of the universe. Humanity never claimed superiority after the war. They did not call themselves saviors. When asked why one of their own had done such a thing, their answer was simple. He did what needed to be done. The stars that had once gone dark slowly returned to life. Trade routes reopened. Colonies rebuilt. New alliances formed, not out of fear, but trust, and in quiet moments. Far from politics and history, pilots sometimes reported strange readings near the collapsed system. A flicker, a signal, a shape that looked almost like a human silhouette, standing against the light. No one confirmed it. No one denied it, because whether the soldier truly remained or not did not matter. His stand had already done its work. The stars still shine, not because the galaxy was strong, but because one soldier chose not to move.